지금 다운로드 받으세요.
Couldn't grab it. All right, it's time for Zest to play a third game, this time against not his teammate, but Maru, the Generic Terran.
This is the rematch of the Round 2 Finals Game 7 of Pro League, right? This is about the best StarCraft you can watch.
It was on the same map, too, if I'm not mistaken, actually.
Dust Towers?
Yeah, I think it was, if I remember correctly. I'm pretty sure. And it was sick, though.
Yeah.
If you didn't see that game, go back and watch it. And Maru, part of the reason why the Generic Green Wings are the defending Pro League Round 2 champions, was like 11-0 or something at the end of that round before even going into the playoffs. Like, this guy is godlike in best of ones, and he's set to play 10 of them today. So get excited, get hyped.
Tell your friends to get in here. For some reason, people are not watching the challenge matches over here, and they should be, because this is the best StarCraft in the world between some of the best players we have in the world. So Zest versus Maru on Dust Towers right now for set number 5. We are on Dust Towers once again, and down here in the bottom left in the red, the Protoss player from KT, it is Zest.
And up here at the top right, in blue, his opponent, it is Maru. And Maru being the lone Terran representative in this group. We've had a lot of Protosses in Challenge, actually.
We got Reality in this group, too.
He hasn't played yet, so it's kind of throwing me off.
Yep, he's that guy that generally we would have him in set number 5 for the first time, but because we had the the KT players going head-to-head twice in the beginning, just to hold off any shenanigans, we are going to see him in set number 6, actually, after this game. It's going to be Reality versus Losira on Arena, actually, the Reality's map pick, so that's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, Reality did get 3-0'd last night by Maru, so that's one of the stories of this group is they will face each other twice, and we'll see if Maru can turn that into a 5-0 or if Reality can get a little bit of revenge. And if Reality fails to qualify for the regular season of Star League, then that's it for him for the year, except Pro League. So
Reality?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's it'll be his reality.
Yeah. Yeah, it would. Well, the reality of this group is that it looks like the group of death, but with this format, it's very clear that 3 players are favored and 3 players are really struggling to hold on and get as many wins as possible to have some sort of slim chance to get on through. As we said at the beginning of the day, Zest and Maru are essentially shoo-ins because of how dominant they are here in Korea, and the hero is that other guy that, he, for the 3rd year in a row, he could possibly become the most winning player in Pro League again.
That's
true. For the 3rd year in a row. if he keeps on this track, he's now got 14 wins in Pro League, ahead of Zest and Maru. I think Maru's at 13 and Zest is at 12, if I'm not mistaken.
Very close. He's at 12 or 11, something like that. But I'm really curious to see how this first match between Zest and Maru is going to go. We're going to see a second one later on. I'm not sure which match number it is, but there's too many for me to look at right now. But a lot of people argued this should have been the GSL Finals for Season 1, and it was not, just simply because Maru was eliminated early on. As Reaper does get caught here. Nice positioning by Zest. No real scouting information.
Didn't Maru lose to Zest, actually, in Code A?
He lost him in Code A, and so a lot of people said, well, that could have been the finals. And in fact, it was not because of that. It was late cancel here. But yeah, that was the match that happened long ago in the beginning of Code A for Season 1, the spring season. And then now, Zest ended up winning the whole thing, the whole tournament, but Maru went on a tear through Pro League. He also was eliminated early in last season of Star League, so everyone's like, okay, Maru probably would have been the finalist in both tournaments, but he just didn't make it. Now, of course, he's hoping to get out of this group along with Zest, and maybe we'll see another Zest versus Maru matchup later on in the tournament. But this is just to put this in perspective, if you're watching StarCraft for the first time right now, You've chosen a good day to do it.
Oh,
But
yeah.
if you're not as familiar with these two players, they are potentially the top 2 players in the world, and they're definitely the top players in their race right now.
Yeah, I mean, Maru is definitely looking like a more solid player than TY nowadays. TY seems just like a genius, you know, but sometimes he doesn't execute, like occasionally, because TY was known as like the best Terran, but then Maru was like silently winning literally everything in Pro League, as you were saying. So definitely those two up at the top. And just to go off of what you're saying, these two are going to play again. It's going to be on King Stage Station, which is Maru's map pick, and that's going to be set number 19.
Okay.
So if you guys want to wait, that should be at around probably like 7 o'clock here in Korea.
Yeah, so maybe like 5 hours or so.
Yeah. So
Isn't that crazy? I think we're going to be on, like, that's only 19 of 30, but, like, that's going to be 5 hours from now.
yeah, dude. This is
So
the
much
marathon
StarCraft.
cast.
Well, Observer's going to come in here and scout everything. Yet again, Maru, you're being aggressive, but not as aggressive as the previous set. He does have a third base, a sign that Zest has already scouted, so he doesn't have to play as scared. And his Warp Prism coming across the map in just a few minutes will allow him to harass a little bit as he takes his own third base. It's just now finished. He also does have Blink. This is not going to be a big commitment to an attack, but he's going to basically force Maru to respond and delay his placement of his third CC.
It's pressure, you know. It's a long map, but with the Warp Prism, you can get over there and attack the front. You know, maybe snipe a couple of depots here. There's not much that Maru can do, although Stim does finish up. And in fact, all these stalkers are not here, and Zest definitely has to pull back.
I think that was still a good trade for Zest with that huge stim. And now he's like, oh, I probably won't. You might even be able to force him to stim a second time. If Maru's not in good position, see, now he's setting up a good position, so he's going to make the attack defendable without stim. But there's the second sloppy stim. See, this is like an insanely good trade for Zest overall, actually, with no Medivacs out. The first two just on their way now. And now he can keep pressuring. So, very well done by Zest. I actually like this a lot for him.
Yeah, he's going to snipe a couple of depots here. Scan is going to kill that Observer.
You know what?
Maru,
he can actually commit to this, I think.
Maru can't scan, or he can't stim again just yet. Okay, the Medivacs do come out, but so many SCVs are pulled, and Zest is putting on the huge pressure. Meanwhile, back at home, he's got 54 probes, a third base that he's mining from.
2 Forges about to finish as well, and he's going to even drop 4 Stalkers in the back. He's going to pull Maru into 2 directions. He's pulling them apart, man. Okay, good defense setup here, though. Stalkers blink back into that Warp Prism. I was like, wait, how they can't blink that far? Well, no, the Warp Prism range is that far.
Yeah.
Looks like a similar animation, but saves all the Stalkers, scouts the back door. Maru, you can spend 100 minerals on a bunker, which on this map is, I think, very warranted.
Yeah. And this is something that you'll notice when you're watching someone who is the best in the world, is that they make it look so easy, right? He just waltzes across the map, does a bit of damage, delays the third base, and makes it look like any Protoss should be able to do this. But I guarantee you that Super gets in there, he tries this, he loses a bunch of Stalkers, he just walks back home, you know? Whereas Zest, he's taking a 4th base as Maru is floating out to his 3rd.
Maru just had some indecisive sims there. Like I was talking about, he had his units pulled up in an arc at the top of the ramp. So I was like, okay, he could defend this without stim. And Zest may like try to trade into it, but it's going to be like, okay, Maru might stim a Marauder or 2 and fight this just from the top of the ramp. Instead, as soon as Zest went away, he stimmed. And then he couldn't chase, and he wasted so many hit points. Looks like we're going to try to see a Medivac snipe here. It doesn't go off. In fact, loses a Stalker for it. But again, a big stim from Maru. He has the Medivacs for it this time. There's a lot of units here, though, and Glaives are about to finish. If he warps in just a few Adepts, like 3 of them just coming in right now.
Yeah, I think Zest actually might just kill him here. Look at this gigantic army. This is the Zest style. So many gateways were made. He goes up to 8 very, very quickly. And all of the upgrades lining up. The Glaives, the +1/+1. He already has Blink. And that army for Maru is not that big.
It's tiny. It's about 2/3 the size of Zest's army. He doesn't have +1 armor yet. Zest has 1/1, as you were mentioning, and this is just the beginning of the end, I'd say. No bunkers set up, nothing. That turret's going to be totally worthless.
Liberators are going to set up their liberation zones, as well as the Widow Mines do get the burrow. But Zest doing a nice job of skirting outside of the zones and forcing this to lift again. Going to force a repair as well if he wants to keep that alive. And all the while, back at home, he's finished the 4th base.
Yeah, I mean, this is just Zest is saying, okay, leave the game. If you just set up, I mean, even if he sets up Liberators, he has enough stalkers, I think, to blink under. And even if by some crazy circumstance Maru holds this, he has better macro at home, this is game over. He's not even going to be able to hold this. Adepts walk up the ramp. Medevac's over here going to help heal the rest of this puny Terran army, but it won't matter. Look at the huge warp in. 8 more Adepts, and that's game.
If Zest was able to play all 10 games today, if he was forced to play all 10 games, he would probably go 10-0. Like, this is just unbelievable domination against Maru, okay? This is not just some pushover, right? This is one of the best Terrans in the world, and he makes it look so easy. GG. Zest is going to win his second game of the day. Actually, as I was saying, he could go 10-0. I remember he actually lost to Lucero, so.
That's right. He's 2-1.
That doesn't quite work out, but could go 9-1 still, I suppose.
Well, there you have it. Zest just out-pressuring Maru there. I think Maru playing a little bit out of his comfort zone, to be totally honest. I think he likes this 2cc style, pressure into a third CC. That game he tried to go for a faster third. Basically just died to pressure. He stimmed at the wrong times. He was just struggling to deal with incredible blink micro from Zest. Careful pressure, and he didn't have enough defense set up. But now we're going to go into Reality's first game of the night. I keep forgetting he's in this group just simply because it's been so long. We're going into our 6th game.
Yeah.
He's our 6th player.
There's always one player who plays really late in the first group, and then he's got like 5 games in the last 10 games that we play in the day. So
yeah, and actually how long the day goes often depends on where that player is positioned in the group.
Yeah, exactly. So he's the wild card man for today. And in fact, he does have 4 games in the, after game number 24, he's got 4 games. So
yeah,
lots of games to play at the end of the